What's going on, guys? This is John from Team Deck Dev, bringing you guys my Louisville regional report. Played 6 SAMs today, and I'm proud to say that I was the only person that played 6 SAMs, and I actually got a lot of support for that. It's not really that commonly seen of a deck, and that's kind of why I enjoy playing it. It's been one of my favorite decks for a long time. It's not for everybody. And, I mean, it fits me. I like it. And maybe you guys would too. But let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with the monsters. Don't hate me for mixed rares, but play 3 Legendary 6 Samurai Kazan. I'll have 1 super, unfortunately. Play 3 Kogmusha of the 6 Samurai. Play 2 Kageki, or Legendary 6 Samurai Kageki. Play 2 Elder of the 6 Samurai. And for the 1-ofs, we play 1 Inishi, 1 Zanji, and 1 Grandmaster. Pretty much your combo pieces, extra deck wise, to go into Nat Beast. You need Elder and Kogmusha, and that'll also make Shien. But usually for Shien, it's a lot easier to go Kageki Kogmusha because of Kageki's special summon effect. And then for Trish, if you open these 3 cards, you can normal summon, and then off of his effect, special, and special by Kazan's own effect. As for everything else, they have their own effects. Make sure I don't get it wrong. Well, Grandmaster special summons himself as long as you control another 6 Samurai monster. And then whenever he goes to grave, you can add a 6 Samurai monster from your grave to your hand, including himself. Kogmusha, whenever a 6 Samurai monster is targeted by a card effect, you can change the target to him. Elder, that's basically a free special summon whenever you control no monsters and your opponent has a monster. Kazan, he can special summon himself as long as you control another 6 Samurai. And then if you control 2 other 6 Samurai monsters, he gains 300 attack and defense. Kageki, he's only 200 attack, but whenever you normal summon him, you can special summon a level 4 or lower 6 Samurai monster from your hand. And while you control another face-up 6 Samurai monster, he gains 1500, which puts him at 17. It's not the best, but he's a good tool. Zanji, 18. Whenever he battles, if the monster doesn't get destroyed, it gets destroyed. But you have to control another face-up 6 Samurai monster to do that. He doesn't gain any attack or defense per 6 Sam, though, so it's kind of sucky. But he's good for an asceticism target to go into rank 4 place. Inishi, it's basically a compulsory evacuation device, but you banish 2 6 Samurai monsters from your graveyard to use this effect. You target a face-up monster your opponent controls and send it back after you banish the 2 for cost. And then he gains 500 attack if there's 2 or more 6 Samurais besides himself. That's it for those guys. Spells. I play 3 Shin Smoke Signal. This is your main searcher. Add a level 3 or lower 6 Samurai monster. It's basically E-Call for 6 Samurais if you've ever played Heroes or played against them. Next I play 3 Asceticism. It's another search card, but it special summons. Basically you target a 6 Samurai monster you control, and then you summon a 6 Samurai monster with the same attack but a different name, so it can combo off with different things. Whenever Inishi, or no, not Inishi, whenever Kazan gains his 300 attack, you can Asceticism for Grandmaster if you need to for some reason. And then the main combo piece, if you open Elder or Kogmusha, and you basically have first turn Nat Beast or Shien, whatever your choice is. It depends on what you're playing. I usually go for Nat Beast because spells are more relevant and it's multiple negations per turn. Next, I play 3/6 Samurai United. This is your main draw power. What this card does, whenever it's activated, each time you summon a 6 Samurai monster, it gains a Bushido counter. And then once, well, you can do it with 1 counter, but it's better to do it with 2 if you can. You can send it to the graveyard by removing the counters and draw a card for each Bushido counter on it. It's pretty nice. And then just staples. Upstart Goblin, make it a 39 card deck. Reinforcement of the Army. I play all level 4 or lower warriors except for Grandmaster, so that's basically the best search card for me, besides Smoke Signal. Plus I can get my level 4s. 1 Soul Charge. Unfortunately, you can only play 1, which kind of sucks, but I mean, hey, it has its reasons. And then last but not least, Raigeki. It's pretty much a staple in any deck, especially with this deck because, I mean, you have Spell Trap negation, but you don't really have much to clear monsters that are bigger than yours, so it really helps out. Next, moving on to the traps, play 3 Double-Edged Sword Technique. I was actually able to pick up 2 more ultra rares thanks to Nick, one of the other members of the channel. You guys know him as Zeta. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Next, play 2 Quaking Mirror Force for, I was going to say board removal, but it's not really board removal, it's just stopping attacks and kind of screwing stuff up. Like, me and Joel just did a playtest, and he had 4 monsters on board attacked, and then he only had 1 free spot, so he couldn't really do much. Drowning Mirror Force, this is more board removal if they attack, if you don't have anything on field, because it shuffles them back into the deck. It's a lot better than Storming Mirror Force, in my opinion, because Storming sends them back to the hand, but if you send them back to the deck, they're a lot harder to get to. It takes a little bit longer anyway. Next, for the one-ofs, I play Bottomless Trap Hole, self-explanatory. Safe Zone. Usually I put this on Nat Beast, so he's safe, or I use it to bait Twin Twisters and MSTs. Whenever this card gets destroyed, the monster that it's attached to gets destroyed as well. So if somebody just blind MSTs it, I attach it to their monster, and their monster goes bye-bye. Works out pretty good. Tech card, Backs to the Wall. I didn't actually know this card existed until a few months ago. Really good card, but it's situational. Basically, you activate it, you take away all your life points but 100, and then you can special as many 6 Samurai monsters as you can with different names. So it comes in clutch if you know you have the win, but it's kind of risky. And again, just bait for Twin Twisters and MST. Vanity's Emptiness. It's a really good card, especially if you get your board set up the right way. And if I remember, I'll put the picture of one of the rounds that I won today. I actually had like the optimal board that you really want, and if I had Vanity's Fiend, it would have been completely solid, but it was somewhere in my deck. And then, last but not least, play the Solemn Brigade. 3 Solemn Strike and 1 Solemn Warning. Again, that's just for monster removal, and if somebody tries to max C, sometimes you don't want that depending on what you're playing. I took the max C challenge today, and it kind of hurt me, but I still got the game. That's it for the traps. As for the extra deck monsters, I play 2 Shien. I used to play 3, but I don't really need to see him as much anymore. Because, I mean, Nat Beast and Bargion kind of handle the rest, and he's only once per turn, but Nat Beast and Bargion are as many times as you want, as long as you have the needed requirements to do it. With that being said, I play 1 Nat Beast. You mill the top 2 cards of your deck to negate a spell as many times as you want per turn. And then same with Barkion. He does traps, or it. I don't know the gender. you banish 2 from grave to negate a trap, which is really nice. Next, I play 1 Goyo Guardian. It came in kind of handy today, playing against PK Fire. I was able to attack over his Beatrice and just steal it and sit on it as a defense wall. It's pretty nice. Plus, if I can get the right levels, I can go into my Synchro monsters. Board removal wise, I do play 1 Black Rose Dragon. I'm thinking about switching it out for Moonlight, because I mean, I don't really want to nuke my board, but it does come in handy. Next, I play 1 Crystal Wing. It's still a pretty good card as far as it goes. If I could, I'd play Clear Wing. Wait, this is Clear Wing. I'm sorry, guys. This is Clear Wing. If I could, I'd play Crystal, but I can't really get to it like I would want to. And then, last but not least, for Synchro monsters, I do play Trish. It's a good card. I don't really see it as much, but I use it if I have to. And like I said, if you open those 3 monsters, you can basically get it first turn. Or second turn if you go second. Those are Synchros. XYZs are pretty staple. Castel. Since I play Warriors, I do play Heroic Champion Excalibur. His effect, you detach both materials to double his attack, so he becomes a 4K beat stick until the end of your opponent's turn. It's pretty good. It helps you get over some of those monsters that you can't get over with your own 6 Samurai monsters. Especially with Blue Eyes, that really helps. But you don't really see that many Blue Eyes. Of course, Abyss Dweller, good with any level 4s. It really came in handy with a few decks, like, for instance, PK Fire, because they rely on Graveyard to do stuff. Staple, number 101. It's a pretty good card. Steal a monster that's a problem monster, another way to get rid of them. 106, Giant Hand. It's kind of situational, but it does help get rid of some pesky effect monsters. And then last but not least, I play the Utopia to Lightning combo. As far as it goes, main deck wise, all you need to have a good board setup, if you open this is the optimal hand. This is what you want to see, honestly. These 4, definitely, and then either Elder or Cogmusha. And if you're lucky enough, you might actually be able to get both if you go second. But you usually want to go first with this deck. Basically, whichever one you don't have, or if you don't have any at all, say the 5th card is just some random card, like you get Warning, which would be nice, but if you get something else and you don't have either of these, you can search for one of them with Smoke Signal, Asceticism, whichever one it is, get the other, sync for Nat Beast, since they're 2 Earth monsters, well, Earth monster and 1 Earth tuner, and then Soul Charge, or if you don't have Soul Charge, this is good too, Double-Edged Sword Technique, because it doesn't cost life, but it's a trap. You have to have it set for a turn, and you don't really want to activate it on your opponent's turn, because if the monsters are still on the board at end phase, they get destroyed and you take damage equal to their attack. But Soul Charge is the best bet if you go first. Soul Charge for Cogmusha and Elder, and then get your Xian out. And you have a pretty solid board to wait on until your next turn, and hopefully you'll be able to defeat your opponent. But as far as this video goes, I want to say thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, I do want to let you know this isn't the best deck, but it has its good decks, it has its bad decks to play against. I know my best duels today were against variants of Metal Foes, and in one duel I actually just went and ran over everything because he couldn't get a scale. I just kept negating with Nat Beast and he basically couldn't play. It was pretty fun. I mean, it sucked for him. I wound up going 3-5. At one point, I was at table 28, which I enjoyed. It was fun, and I actually lost to a good friend of mine, and he deserved the invite. He worked hard for it, so proud for him, and proud for the rest of the team. Congratulations, Zeta, for getting your invite, and then team-wise, I think he was the only one that got an invite. Brett came close, or Blue, as you guys might know him. He came pretty close, and so did I. But with that, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Thanks for leaving a like if you enjoyed the video. And comment, let me know what you guys would change with it, or what deck profiles you want to see next. Thanks for watching.